Good morning, everybody. This is Gina DiGirolamo from the heart of Paso. I'm coming to you a little bit earlier today. It's Tuesday, June 16th. Yes, June 16th. I think I've been doing this show now for almost 2 months. I can't believe it. And today I am going to be speaking with Debbie Thomas, a local restaurateur that has Thomas Hill Organics, one of the finest restaurants we have here in Paso. So let me pop Debbie in real quick. Hello, Miss Debbie. How are
Oh,
you?
good morning, Gina. I'm good, thank you.
Good, good. We're finally getting to do this. We've attempted a couple times and we've had
Yes,
some just detours, let's just
yes, we
say.
have. We don't need to talk about all of them, but yes, we have.
Yes. And so I'm glad that we're able to finally come here today together and talk about all the great things you do at Thomas Hill Organics. So first of all, let's just talk about the restaurant a little bit before we get into the current events on how things are being handled
Mm.
and menus and all of that. But give us a little background on Thomas Hill Organics, why you started, what your focus is at your restaurant, things like
Mm.
that.
Well, it started with a 10-acre organic farm on the east side of Paso. And I worked at that time for a company called Adidas or Adidas. And my largest accounts closed, and they wanted me to move up to Oregon or Washington. And I didn't want to move. So it was kind of like, okay, 10 acres of organic fruits and vegetables. Like, is there something we can do here? And I have always had a passion for food and wine. So I thought, yeah, how hard is it to open a restaurant? Okay, well, I basically had 2 weeks to make a decision. And, once my account closed and Adidas said, you got to make a decision, I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. And that was it. And that's how it started.
And where were you living at the time? Where were
In
you?
Paso, in
Oh,
Paso
you
on,
were
on the
you were
east
living
side.
here.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Okay.
was living here. So, 10, 15 minutes out of town,
Right.
10-acre farm, organic farm. And yeah, so that's pretty much what happened. And I, put a plan together and opened thinking, oh, how hard could this be? And soon learned that it was not the easiest thing in the world to do.
Yeah, very different than being account executive.
Yes, totally. Totally. Yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
it's it's 24/7. And my first couple years they were tough. Our entrance was in an alley. We had the word
right.
they had the word organics in the name, so people thought we only serve vegetables. It was so it took a little while, but things started to change once Paso started to change a little bit, and people realized, oh, they serve organic food and farm to table, and we started to pick up.
Right, right. That's right. You only had the alley entrance. So
Yes.
for everybody in Paso, your main entrance is on Park Street
Now.
now.
Mhm.
So you've expanded.
Yes.
Used to and still, well, the kitchen really is on the alley, correct? The
Alley too.
kitchen
Yeah, the
entrance,
kitchen is.
yes.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you only really enter from Park
Park
Street.
Street now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we'll take a little view of the spot in just a minute. Um, so 2009 is when you started.
January 15th, 2009.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Right during another challenging time
Oh,
for
absolutely. But I said, I can only go up. So it
right.
was, yeah,
Right. But what goes up must come down and
must
then goes
come
back
down.
up. Right? So
Absolutely.
yeah. So
Yeah.
finding yourself now in the midst of the ever-changing daily changing COVID. So let me ask you something. It's I don't know, it might be hard for some people to remember because so much has gone on, right, since
Yes.
the initial
Mhm.
shutdown, which I consider like the weekend of March 15th, right before
Exactly.
St.
Yeah. Our
Patrick's
last
Day.
day was March 16th, and that's when we shut down. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
So what was going on in your mind at that time, and then let's see where we're at
Honestly,
now.
Gina, I would never ever have guessed that we would have had a shutdown like this, that we would have closed all the retail, all the restaurants, all the wineries. It was very stressful when it happened. And that's when we decided, well, we tried to do some takeout, and then we started doing our family meals.
Mhm.
which kind of got us through. It at least allowed me to keep a few good people and not have to lay them off.
Right.
And so it was very stressful when it happened.
Yeah, I'm sure. Scrambling, trying to figure out the best
Yeah,
way.
especially since, January and February, those are months in Paso that are they're not that busy because at least I depend on a lot of tourist business.
Mhm.
So coming off of a slow January and February and then mid-March, boom, you're shut down.
Right.
That was difficult. So,
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Usually that's the time of year we slowly start to get
uh,
things going in Paso
yes.
Robles.
Yes.
It was either that weekend or the following weekend was supposed to be Zen Fest
Zenfest.
weekend.
Yes.
So the
Yeah.
first of our festival weekends,
Yes.
big, big time for restaurants and everybody in Paso. Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, a couple things I'm curious about as far as since you source everything pretty much locally, farm-wise, and we're not just talking about what growing, but you're sourcing your meat product as well. A lot of that locally, fish, things like that. How did this that had to be really hard too, knowing that a lot of these places that you are helping to sustain, um, that's another impact, right? I mean, everything
Uh,
trickles down.
It was a big impact because I mean, honestly, we've had difficulty getting a lot of product.
Hmm.
We have to constantly make exceptions on our menu. Things that we thought we could get in, we couldn't.
Mhm.
Right now, prices are going up on a lot of things, and I understand we all need to make money, but yes, those definitely have been challenges.
Yeah. Look at that. I think we recognize this guy. He says hello.
Hey, Ryan.
Ryan was a previous chef, I believe, correct? At some
Yes.
point, yes. And then, uh, so let's since we brought up food and that's what we're talking about, let's talk about the menu a little bit. So you did start some family meals, and we were talking, you and I earlier about how some of the COVID experience has initiated some creativity for you guys in your menu.
Yes. Well, when it all happened, um, the first thing I thought of is, okay, we're going to do these family meals,
Hmm.
and but we have to be different. We can't offer barbecue if someone else is doing that. We can't offer just Italian food. We have to look at ways to entice people to buy the family meals.
Hmm.
That was A, and B. I was like, okay. I mean, and at that time, I was even unemployed. So I'm like, okay, I'm not making any money. Okay, yes, I'm going
Right.
to get unemployment, but I can't afford to go out and spend, $50 on a ribeye. So I took that into consideration. So our family meals started out as being different, a lot of ethnic, and extremely well priced. Right.
Hmm.
So, and I think, one of the first nights we had a line down the alley, out the street, down the road, so
That
it,
had
uh,
to feel good.
it did, but we weren't expecting, well, wow, but
Right.
yeah, that was good. So we've, again, our only challenges with it have been making sure or trying to make sure we get everything we say we're going to put on the menu. It
Hmm.
hasn't always happened just because of the
Mm,
situation, but
yeah.
people I know have really enjoyed it. And in fact, they've enjoyed it so much that coming up this weekend, we're going to be putting on some of those items that have done really well. So I believe that Chef Libri, who's fabulous,
Hmm.
has had a great time creating some of these, dishes. We've done, Persian, we've done Indonesian, we've done German. I mean, we've gone just about everywhere.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
he's had a good time doing it, and I think we found some really great ideas to move forward.
Yeah, I have a friend who's Brazilian.
Yep.
Just shout out to Val. She said that she picked up some Brazilian barbecue this last weekend and she thought it was amazing. So
Yes.
he must be doing something right. You've got, people are looking for their authentic home foods. So
Yes.
that's really awesome.
Yeah.
Um, Debbie, I'm going to bring up the little video that we
Okay.
did just to show the this your place for people who are not familiar with it. So we're looking at this is our Park Street entrance there. And this is what you see when you come in on Park Street. Great bar you guys have, and a great wine selection. A lot of local wines?
Absolutely, a lot of local wines, mostly local wines.
Yeah,
So,
mostly
yes.
local. So
Yes.
when you come in now, will you still be able to sit at the bar, as long as you're spread out, or no?
Yes, as long as you're spread out, you can. They have opened up bars. So
Mhm.
originally, if you saw as you were spanning by there, that we
Yeah,
had rope up, but we've taken that down. But yes, as long as you're distance, it's fine.
right, and we saw the little footprints that everybody's getting used to looking
Yes,
for.
yes, and then
And here's
this
your gorgeous patio.
yeah, and I mean, honestly, it looks beautiful this way with all the tables, spread way apart. But, when you lose 35% of your seating capacity, it looks beautiful, but it's not beautiful to the bottom line.
Right, it's really nice for photos and videos.
Yes, it is.
So the other thing is, I noticed the tables are empty with no plating. Are we still at that phase where you have to
Yes.
bring the silverware out to each particular person?
Yes,
How's
we
that working?
do. What we do, yes, is as they walk in the front door, um, there's a sanitation system where they can wipe their hands. Hold on, I got to take a sip of water.
Oh, sure, no problem. Yeah, so we're talking right now about, the processes, what things are gonna be like when we enter the restaurant.
Yes.
We were showing that the tables, they're not gonna have the silverware and the plates and
No,
the glasses
no
all
water
sitting
rack,
there.
none of that. No. So people come in, and we actually offer either a disposable menu, or we have barcodes, so they can scan the barcode and see our menu. So they have the option, and we take them to their table, and then we bring the silverware out, and it's
Okay,
wrapped. We wrap it, and then we offer them water, etc. So there's the only thing that's on the table right now are plants during the day and our
mhm,
candles at night.
very
And
nice.
yeah, and everything is once a customer gets up, everything is wiped down with sanitizer, seats, table, everything.
Right.
So
So, also, you found out some good news. You're able to, expand your space basically so you can have more tables, and where are you doing that?
yes, at right behind us at Keller Williams. Originally, I went over to ask about their um, parking lot,
Mhm.
and Kate said, "Hey, well, why don't you use our patio? It's like right here." So I was like, "Really?" And she was like, "Yeah." So we're going to be using their patio, and it's right behind the kitchen, so it's easy
Oh, how
access for
perfect.
us.
Yeah.
And it's got a gate around it, so it's enclosed.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's great at night. It has lighting. It's covered, well, semi-covered. If it rains, you can't sit out there,
I don't think
but
we're gonna have
yeah,
to worry about the rain.
yeah, not for a while anyway. Yeah,
Right.
so I'm really excited about it.
Well, that's great too because, obviously you have the tables, you have the chairs, you have the things
Yes,
you need because you had to
yes.
move them out
Had to move them
anyways.
out anyway, yes. So
Yeah.
we'll put some plants out there maybe and
Yeah.
a couple
Yeah.
umbrellas, but yeah, no, we're really excited about being able to use that space.
That is great. And
And
then,
I say that, Gina, but I sent my stuff to ABC, all right? Make
r
sure that we can
right.
serve wine and beer out there, so, yeah.
Right. Well, which, from what I've understood is they've extended to these parklets, correct?
Yes, the other option, which I was originally going to go for, if not for the Keller Williams patio, was to put what's called a parklet. It's
Uh-huh.
where you take, 3 or 4 parking spots in front of your restaurant. You enclose it with some kind of a railing or structure, and you could put additional tables out there.
Oh,
But
wow.
this obviously saves me money because I don't have to spend money on putting a parklet out there.
Right, and also, you're not taking away parking spaces
No, not
either,
taking,
which is
yeah,
important,
yeah,
I'm sure,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure. So then the other thing that's fun that's happening in Paso, you were starting to tell me about the dining in the park. Can you explain this program?
Yeah, when we originally, closed, everybody closed, everyone, restaurant groups, the chamber, got on phone calls, got on conference calls trying to discuss, what can we do? We can't afford on Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays to lose 40,
Right.
50% of our dining capacity. That's when we make our money.
Mhm.
So we came up with the idea of dining in the park. So, which is really fun. What it is there's a whole section in the park.
Mhm.
It'll have roping around it. All About Events is supplying farm tables and chairs and lighting,
Oh, wow.
umbrellas, etc. We'll have a concierge out there. Guests can go on Yelp, make a reservation through the chamber, and
Okay.
then bring in to-go food. They can pull through our alley, grab a bag of to-go food or the other restaurants, and head over to the park. They'll have a table all to themselves, and it's a great experience. And that way, a lot of restaurants who don't have the seating capacity can kind of utilize that space, if that makes
Okay.
sense. And that's going to
Yeah.
be on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights.
So the reservation, is it made, just for like, okay, I want to reserve a table in the park, or do I have to say I'm reserving the table because I'm getting it from a certain
Nope,
restaurant?
nope. You just reserve a table in the park.
Okay, and then does this allow for, being able to have alcohol as far as bring wine or beer
Wine and
in there?
yes, wine and beer and possibly hard alcohol. So that might be as well, since it will be monitored.
Okay.
And what we're looking for now is sponsorships, because it's going to cost money. Obviously, we're going to have a
Mhm.
concierge. We're going to have 3 or 4 people who are going around sanitizing,
Oh,
making
right.
sure everybody's seated correctly, monitoring it, etc. So we are looking for sponsors, and hopefully we'll get that off the ground and running.
So people like perhaps wineries and things like that, like when they sponsor, for concerts in the park type of thing?
Exactly. So they would
Mhm.
they would sponsor like for a table. They'd want to.
Okay.
Not that they could use the table anytime, but and it'll be advertised. There'll be something on the table that talks about who it is, and you know,
Right.
and
I
so
really
that's
like that idea. I think it's
yeah,
awesome. I
yeah,
I think I think when you guys were all first starting to talk about it, some of, your other, colleagues in the restaurant world there were telling me about it, and I thought, "Wow, I could just see it. What a beautiful visual." I think it will enhance the experience of Paso Robles and the connection that people can make, right? I mean, you're
yes,
gonna meet more people, you're gonna talk about where you got your food maybe, and that'll help
yes,
spread the word around. Things like that. So I think it's great.
yeah.
Do you know when it starts?
Well, I know we had hopes of it starting, not this weekend, the following weekend,
Okay.
but it depends on the sponsorship. So
Right.
we're just reaching out now, looking for help on that. So
Okay, good. So if anybody's listening and,
yes,
if somebody does want to, sponsor, who should they
reach
contact? The chamber?
the Chamber of
Okay.
Commerce, absolutely, yes. I mean,
Okay.
everyone has to understand that I am very fortunate that I have Keller Williams behind me. But
Absolutely.
those restaurants who don't, and who've lost 30, 40, 50% of their capacity, we're all looking for options. So hopefully this will be one of them that will help.
Yeah. You're getting some kudos here, some from,
Yeah.
folks here. Judy Beard says, "Bravo, Debs. Proud of
Yep.
you." Nancy
Thank you, Judy. Hi,
Gonzalez, "I
Nancy.
love
Love you
you."
too, Nancy.
So that's great. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is great. And it sounds like you're pretty involved with
Yeah.
with moving this forward. And I think it's great. Even like you just said, you're fortunate, you've got a space, and that's one of the nice things about Paso, and I think is one of the keys to the heart of Paso Robles is all of the restaurant owners coming together, the winery owners I mean, it's been that way. It's not like COVID may have enhanced it, but it
Yes.
couldn't have enhanced what wasn't already there in place.
Exactly. Exactly. So, hopefully some good comes out of all this. I
Yeah.
mean, that's the hope. So,
Yeah. Well, I think we're seeing it. I don't think we have to hope too much other
yeah.
than because I think I've witnessed a lot of it. That's for sure.
Yes.
That's definite. I'm going to quickly bring up your website
Okay.
also. So let's find the right buttons for that. And because you are going to have a Father's Day special,
Yes,
correct?
we are.
And I'm
We're
going to bring
doing
that up right
Yeah,
now.
we're gonna be open for brunch on Father's Day, but dinner, we're just doing our family meal takeout because
Okay,
it seems to be popular. Like Easter was fabulous, Mother's Day was great, so we're doing the same thing for Father's Day. Yeah.
great. So what do we got here? We've got
Oh, we've got steak
marinated steak.
that's got a smoked bone marrow crust on it.
Mm.
We're also serving that with roasted summer squash with asparagus and yellow corn. And then, of course, potato gratin. You have to have that, right?
Oh,
And a
this sounds
bib,
really good.
yes, and a bib lettuce salad with shaved fennel and grapes and spiced mustard green goddess dressing. And then, of course, if you want to order an olive oil cake, we make these olive oil cakes for
Wow.
4 people. So you can order that additional. Our olive oil cake is fabulous, Gina. You have to try
I
it if
I
you
don't
haven't.
think I've ever had olive oil cake.
No, no. And then we're suggesting a pairing of Aaron's 2016 Petite Syrah. So yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
And I noticed up here, so you need to have this order in by 8 PM on Saturday in order for it to be prepared
For Sunday,
for
absolutely.
Sunday, picking it up between 3:30 and 7 PM, and, it serves 4 people? Is that
No,
correct?
you can
Or is it
order
per person?
per person. Yes,
Okay, great,
yes,
great. So you can
yeah,
order, per
per
person.
person. Yes,
I think the other thing, let's just go to your homepage so people can see. We got lots of notices, obviously.
yes. Well, we're doing Father's Day, of course, this Sunday, but we're
Right.
still offering our Wednesday night, which is we call it Round the World, because that's when Chef Libri introduces something ethnic, from
Uh-huh.
somewhere across the world. But we are now. You can actually order all of our lunch, brunch, and dinner items online as well. So we
Okay.
instituted that about a week or two ago. So you could do that.
Okay, great. So you can pretty much order anything off the menu for pickup.
Yes.
Um, so the only thing that you reduced from original COVID time was some of the family meals. You're going to do those less times a week, correct?
Yes, absolutely. Just because
Yeah,
it typically on like a Friday night we're busy, and to try to do the family meal in our small kitchen and regular service, it just doesn't work. So
sure, sure.
it's
That's
yeah. But
understandable.
but we're going to continue to be closed on Wednesdays right now, and so
Okay.
we'll always have a family meal on Wednesday night.
Okay, great. So
Yeah.
let's see, Wednesday night. So then, and is it always the chicken dinner or is it
No,
changed?
it changes, but it seems that our fried chicken has been a phenomenal success. So he does it with a side of mac and cheese and either crispy pork belly on top or
Oh,
a crispy bacon crumble. And this Wednesday he's doing a classic Cobb salad with it. And then
and you
you
got some
can you can
Eberly
also
Viognier.
yeah you can also
Wow.
purchase a bottle of Eberly Viognier or Chef Alma's key lime pie, which is fabulous. So
Wow,
yeah.
fantastic. I was just thinking how, COVID's really, I think a lot of you guys in town, in the restaurants, you've picked, like, the best comfort foods for the
Yeah.
takeout family meals because we definitely have been needing a lot
Well,
of
yeah, you
comfort
need you
food.
need a lot of comfort right now, and
For
this is
sure,
absolutely,
for sh
absolutely.
for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
And then will Chef be picking his ethnic, foods for Sundays, like, the week before? Does he have
Yeah,
a schedule out or
well, sorry, he's a chef,
Yeah,
they're hard to pin down,
right, he
okay?
might change his mind.
I'm his personal secretary, but, typically we post, so we've got this Wednesday posted, which is the fried chicken, and Sunday we have the Father's. By Thursday, we'll have next Wednesday's posted, so we try to do it a week in advance, but
Okay,
yeah.
and people could sign up for newsletters so they could be
Yes,
posted or for this?
yes,
Okay.
and yeah, absolutely, e-blast. We send out an e-blast so that everybody knows. We
Mhm.
always send out a final call just to make sure you get your orders in. Yeah,
Right. Okay. Fantastic. So much good stuff for you
yeah,
guys, Debbie. I'm really happy. You're definitely one of the first, restaurants, in town, like we said earlier, to do the style that you guys do, the freshness, the creativity. It's just a really wonderful place. You've got lots of accolades, lots of, like you
thank you,
said.
Gina, yeah.
Yeah, well, you do good work. You put in hard work and you do a great job. So you've been part of the heart of our town now for
Over 11 years.
over 11 years. Yeah,
And just when
yeah.
you think you've seen it all, you
Yep.
get COVID and, you
Something
know,
new happens.
something new
But
happens.
But we keep on going and we pivot and we change and we adapt and we grow together and that's what we gotta do to keep
Yes,
our town going. So I'm very appreciative of what you are doing
thank
and
you.
all the fine food. I am really looking forward. to this park experience and definitely
Yes.
picking up some of your food. That would
Oh,
be
good.
fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really fun, and I hope that at some point we get some live music out there.
Yeah, I'm
But
sure we will.
yeah, so it'll be fun. I think I'm looking forward to it as well.
Yeah, good. Debbie, is there anything else that you would like our audience to know about, whether it be about Thomas Hill or Pass or the town or anything else that you might be knowing that's going on in the chamber?
No, not right now. I think we covered it. We talked about the parklets, the dining in the park, restaurants looking for extra space. Yeah, hey, anyone out there, if you've got a parking spot that can be used for either additional parking so that people can build a parklet or
Mm,
additional space for a restaurant near you, let them know because we this passive, we need to keep our businesses going. So I
yes.
know we all depend on a lot of the tourism business, and if we're not up
Yeah.
to capacity on the weekends, there's gonna be a lot of restaurants and other businesses closing, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, we don't want that to happen,
No,
and
no, no.
I don't foresee it. I think that, like we said, the creativity that came up
Mhm.
for you guys to create different things for your menu. That's one thing, right? When
Yes.
we're all a little under pressure, I think the creativity starts button goes off, especially for people like yourself,
Yeah.
anybody in these types in small business. You have to be
You're like, "Oh
creative.
my god, what am I gonna do?" Yeah. Yeah, you do, you really have to. Well, my fortunately, my background is marketing, so I
Right.
occasionally come up with a good idea.
Every now and then, huh?
When I was in marketing, I was always way ahead of everybody else, so it never worked out. So, anyway,
Well,
that's why I'm in the
I think
restaurant
it's working
business.
for you
Yeah,
now, and I
thank you.
think we're all gonna do just fine. Um, Debbie, I wanna thank you so much for taking time to talk to us
Of
today
course.
and just, being the great restaurateur that you are and bringing all that good fresh food, fresh local food to the table for us to
Thank you,
enjoy.
Gina. Appreciate
So,
it. Thank you for
you
having
bet.
me on. I appreciate it.
You bet.
Okay,
All right.
thanks.
We'll chat soon.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, everybody, thanks so much for watching. Please go ahead and watch from the beginning if you just caught us. And Debbie Thomas from Thomas Hill Organics, they have some wonderful, wonderful local food served up beautifully. So creative, the menu over there, and how they're handling everything for us to be able to continue to enjoy here in Paso. She told us about a great program that's going to be starting that you're definitely going to want to know about and hear about and maybe get involved with. It's the Dining in the Park program. So go ahead and watch back. If anybody knows of anybody that you want me to highlight on the show, or if you have any suggestions on what you might like to see, let me know because I'm reaching out to all kinds of people, organizations, anybody who you feel is the heart of Paso. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you guys next week. All right. Have a great day.